She is a business owner here in Douglas County. Leader in our community. She is awesome. Y'all are gonna really love what she shares with you today about leadership. That is her forte. She has this book that she's written called Secrets of a Socialprenista. I'm a couple of chapters in. It's really good. Haven't read the whole thing yet, but it's a good book. And y'all are gonna love her. So AJ, you can have at it, and just take as long as you want to.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are y'all doing? Oh, it is full now. It was just 2 people when I came in. So thank y'all for showing up this morning. How's everybody's day so far?
Good.
Good, yeah. Well, I want to get a show of hands, kind of where your experience or your interest is as far as being a leader. I understand this is a professionalism class. So let's start here, and you just tell me a little bit of what your plans are kind of after college, or how you see your leadership skills coming into play.
Hopefully to be a game designer.
A game designer, love it. We need those. Although I don't play games, it looks interesting.
Well,
But game is, what they call it, gamification. That's a part of business.
Yeah, I don't really know exactly what brands, because there's like animators.
Yeah, and the Art Institute of Atlanta is great for that. I see the portfolios of the students who go through and present that.
And they're pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, congratulations on that. What about you?
I'll get my welder's diploma.
Say it again.
My welder's diploma here in West Georgia.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how long we'll pursue that. Like once I'm in that career field, might stick with it for a while, and might go on to like my own business one day.
Well, that looks so dangerous, like with all the planes flying at your face.
Depends, you gotta have on all the proper equipment.
Right, and you'll be professional, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. What about you?
I'm looking to go into like the culinary field,
Okay.
and so that definitely I feel has a lot to do with leadership and stuff, with in the
Yes.
kitchen and a lot of communication and things like that. As is sort of like a leadership position that I want to maybe take, I'm not really sure if I want to get into something that has so much leadership, but I would probably hold a smaller area of some kind of leadership, kind of to lead people and stuff, but not really that main leader type thing. I'm not really looking into something like that.
I can tell you're already a leader because you picked up on that key word and you incorporated it into your answer. I like that. You were paying attention. Great. That's a key quality of a good leader. What about you?
I want to get my cosmetology license and my massage therapy license.
Ooh.
So one day, hopefully one day, I want to have like this place that has like everything, like a spa, a salon, nail tech, barber, like everything.
Well, I heard about the 250 question test. So
Yeah.
good luck with that. And let me know when they open a massage school near Douglasville. I'll be like a volunteer patient. Okay. So congratulations on that. That's awesome. What about you?
I'm also a welder, or becoming a welder, and in my field, I mean, I'd have to do a lot more like schooling to become and get more experience to become a leader, and I don't know yet if I want to do that yet.
Okay.
And later down the line, I might if I get tired of doing like regular welders jobs and stuff. But,
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. And what about here in the back?
Heating and air.
And air. Okay. What's the V? Isn't it HVAC? Doesn't the V stand for something? Okay, it's not quiz time. Go ahead. Heating.
Yeah.
I was looking for someone when my air broke in my home, and it was like $400 to fix. So you guys got some good money coming. Good. What about you here in the corner?
I'm gonna do early childhood care and education. I'm gonna start off at daycare, and then my goal is to just do like elementary. I don't plan on going any higher than elementary.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't plan on like having my own school kind of thing, or just like helping children instead of like teachers.
Well, we definitely need you. We need what you do, and it's definitely a leadership role. And going into education is good to help get those loans paid off quickly too. That loan forgiveness, keep that in mind. What about you? Accounting. Okay, you're the quiet one. You like numbers versus speaking in public, or is it just in class? Like you're a different way with your girlfriends? And okay. So accounting, is it CPA, CFA? What is it? CPA. Okay. Awesome. What about you? Architecture. Okay, I didn't know they in any particular type of architecture?
Like, either I can't decide on like drawing models for cars or
Okay, what about you?
I'm studying diesel technology. And
Diesel technology.
Yeah, and then in the future I want to work in a real shop, you know?
What is diesel technology?
It's like diesel engines and
Oh, okay, for the cars.
yeah, so.
Interesting. You guys are creative. Okay. And what about here in the back? What are you?
I honestly don't know. I know what I like to do,
Which is?
drawing cartoons. I
Uh-oh.
love cartoons, like in every shape, facet, and idea. But I don't know where to go,
Mhm.
and I don't know what will make me fulfilled.
Huh, that sounds interesting. You have to be talented to draw. I draw stick figures, so you're doing a lot better than me. Very good. Well, keep focused. It'll speak to your heart, whatever it is. You're more on the creative side, which is awesome. What about you, Professor? Would you like to go?
Sure. I actually feel like I'm already in a position of leadership, working with churches and businesses, helping them kind of determine their path and where they want to go, and that's what I'm passionate about. I love helping leaders figure out where they want to be in our community and how they want to make a difference in our community. Because I do believe if we want things to change, yes, that presidential election day is important. Go vote, all of you. But even more important than that is what we all do in our communities.
Yes. Yay! Well, I think you guys have the perfect person here teaching about leadership and professionalism and just everything that it encompasses when it comes to leading in your community. I want to thank you guys for the opportunity to be here to just share a little bit about my story as a leader in the community and even being connected with Terry, or do you guys call her Miss Garnsey? Miss Garnsey. Okay, so I have to be professional. We go to church together, so we have a unique friendship that stemmed from leadership and how I showed up to serve, and she came on board and said, hey, I got this great group of kids or students. You guys aren't kids, but she just told me, what you guys were learning. So who can kind of tell me what are some of the qualities of a leader, or what you think as it relates to her welders, cosmetology, culinary, accountants, architect, all the things that were said today? Who can kind of tell me what they feel like leadership looks like in their role that they want to do? Or how do you plan on leading? I heard you start your answer off with leading. I heard the childcare, early childcare education. That's definitely leadership. So you guys just call out some things or tell me what you think leadership looks like in some of the fields that are represented here. Did you raise your hand or was you just?
I'm sorry.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
guess being able to listen.
Listening, right. And I can tell you're a great listener. Who else? Any qualities of a leadership kind of come to mind when you think of what you want to do or be? Yes.
Someone who is organized, really.
Organized. Yes, I like that. Okay. And what about, I heard that you guys are talking about motivation and motivational factors. Who wants to just update me? Because I want to hear your insight on what motivation is, or how to stay motivated, maybe as a leader. Yes.
The will to always want to improve.
The will to always want to improve. I like that. Is that the textbook definition?
This is what I.
That's good. I was like, you got an A on that test. Okay. Cool. Anybody else? Motivation or motivational factors? Anything you remember? What about our welder back here? Motivation. How do you stay motivated to keep working with heat? Fire.
Motivation to stay good and don't get burned.
Don't get burned, right? So you gotta pay attention, listen, keep wanting to improve, and don't get burned.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let me tell you just a little bit about who I am. I know a lot of you guys would not know me because you are a little younger than me, not much. I won't tell you my age, but my birthday is on the 27th of this month. So I am honored to be here. So my name is Andrika J. Austin, and I go by AJ. I have a company called The Socialprenista, which is a combination of the word social, which means communication. It means to speak, to give voice to. It means to serve a community. And so I serve a community of women small business owners. I combine the word social, the word entrepreneur, and the word nista, which is like fashionista, maxinista. You guys have heard that term. So I took 3 words, combined them together, and I'm the Socialprenista, and I give voice to women small business owners around the world, helping them to build better businesses. I recently graduated Mercer University this year with a degree in training and development. And so I am celebrating in the fact that I now coach and train other coaches, other authors, and other speakers online and offline. So I do a lot of speaking here in Atlanta, and we're Facebook Living right now, so we'll have some people tuning in. I do Periscope, I do YouTube, I do Insta Stories, all over, just sharing my message and sharing my story. But it took me 15 years to graduate school. So you guys are a little bit further along and getting through a little bit quicker than I did. So this year marked that 15-year anniversary. I took time off, I got married. 10 years ago, I had a corporate job. I had went through college, I had been married, but then my job downsized. Not just one job, but two. So it put me in an awkward position, and I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but I lost everything. I became homeless. I was sleeping in my car and on the floors and couches of family and friends. And I had nothing. I didn't know where to go. 8 years ago, I was still married, took off work from one of those corporate jobs, and I had to show up in divorce court. So we went through the process, got the divorce. I'm walking out the door thinking, yes, it's finally over. I signed the dotted line. I'm ready to start my life over. And my phone rings. And as I'm getting on the elevator and I see my ex-husband stand there for the last time and the doors are closing, and I push the down button. And I finally pick up the phone, and you know, you don't get good reception on the elevator, but I took a chance. And it was my cousin telling me that my mom had just passed. So I literally went from story to story to story. Homelessness, 15 years in school, divorce, now my mother passed. Raise your hand if you've ever found yourself in a situation where everything's happening at once, so much is coming at you, you got a test, you got life, you got kids, family. That's exactly where I was. I found myself literally in the middle of the road in Decatur, Georgia, downtown, saying, okay, God, what do you want me to do? What does this mean? What does this look like? That same day I was scheduled to go out of town and be on a television show that I had waited a year to be on. But in that moment, I had to make a decision. What am I going to do? So I decided to come home back to Douglasville, Georgia, which is where I'm from, help get my mom's affairs settled, clean out the house, bury her, and handle her life, just wrapping it up. It's a lot. I'm the eldest and only girl of 3, but my family, everything fell on me. What are you gonna do? Everybody wanted me to be in my mom's position, and now you have to make these decisions. You have to run this, you have to do that. So my mom was a business owner as well. But what I decided to do was come home, take care of everything. I uprooted my life. I was in Atlanta for 10 years, came back to Douglasville, took over my mom's affairs, looked out for my 2 younger brothers. I have a middle brother. He has 2 life sentences in prison. So imagine you are 15 years behind bars and you never got to tell your mother goodbye. A baby brother, he was out of town that day, so he thought I was calling, and I said, you know, Mom passed. And he said, stop playing. And I said, no, I play about a lot of things, but I wouldn't play about that. So he's out of town breaking down, and here I am in the middle of the road, having to pack up and move back home to take care of everything. But instead of sitting in a place of, I can't get better than this, life is woe is me, I've been through all this stuff, homelessness, divorce, no mom, no job, what am I gonna do? I decided to educate myself. I took the time to take off from trying to get another job, trying to go back to school, trying to be in another relationship. I knew it was time to work on myself. That's number one where leadership kicked in. I looked within. So I took some time. I thought about what I wanted to do, kind of like where you guys are right now. What do I want to do with the education I already have? What do I want to do with the experiences I'm already going through? What do I want to be when I, quote, grow up? Because I was only 28 years old, and this was 8 years ago, so you guys can calculate how old I am. So I took time to put together my life plan and move forward. And what I decided to do was shift the focus that I currently had in my life to just be a woman in business, to take everything that had happened to me from divorce to death and now turn it into hope. I had a decision to make. So I packaged it up. I started reading books on finance. I started reading books on business ownership. I started reading books on personal growth and development, the purpose-driven life, and business books, and just bringing it all together to now say, I'm in a place of what looks like poverty. And poverty is no fun. I grew up in low-income housing, so I know what it's like to be on food stamps and Medicaid and welfare and government housing. But I could take all that I've learned, how to hustle, how to make money, how to lead in my community, because that's one thing my mom instilled in me, how to lead. And I can now show women how to do that. So because I know I'm a Christian woman, and scripture in the Bible talks about God giving us the ability to create wealth. That means that we have the ability in our hands, in our minds, in our feet, if we just get up and make the decision to go after it. And that's what I did. So So now I teach women small business owners how to create their own wealth, how to do so passively, meaning I'm here with you guys, but I have clients around the world that are literally online taking my classes right now, and I just wake up to PayPal notifications and deposits in my account. So I took my story of defeat, or what looked like defeat, and I now share that story everywhere I go. Anyone who will listen, because I know at least one person in this room needs to hear something that I've been through to help take them to the next level in their leadership. So that's how I stand up every day. That's how I show up. And so today, being invited in, and again, thank you, Terry, for the opportunity to be here to share about leadership, because there are plenty of examples of leadership in my story, but there are also pieces of leadership in your life that are showing up as well. And so I want to give you the 3 successful elements of a great leader. Number 1, you have to have a heart for the people that you serve. So with me sharing my story and telling you guys my business, because most people wouldn't tell y'all their business, I show up as a leader to show I've been where you are. I've sat in those seats. I've been in school. 9 seconds to turn in that paper that I still don't have. And I got to email the professor to say it's going to be late. I'll take my 10% off. But I've been where you are. Help you. You're a great listener, which you're going to need that in culinary school to hear out those orders called and things like that. I have a very special person in my life that's into chefing and sous chef, executive chef, all that. So I know, the stories of the kitchen and things like that. But listening, leadership, all of that comes into play. You'll need those qualities, but you'll also need to be able to relate to the people that you lead. So I heard our elementary school teacher, you don't want to get past pretty much. I heard you say, I won't go higher than just the babies. But you still need those qualities of a leader. So you're going to have to relate to the mothers to say, I know what it's like to just want to drop them off and go about your day and come get them when you're, ready to see them again. I have a business coach client. She's on a field trip today with her son. And she called me before and she's like, AJ, I just wanted to, get our call in before the day because the kids are going to be screaming in the background. And I just thought it was wonderful that she looked forward to spending time with her kids. But we need more people like you who are willing to lead where the parent may be weak or may need a little help. So just keep that in mind. Even though you don't think you're going to take on a management role or a leadership role, leadership shows up in every aspect of your life, from you showing up here today and every day in class to what you do when you leave here. I guarantee you have some kind of quality that has to step up and stand out. How many moms do we have? Any moms? 2? Oh, y'all doing good. Okay. I'm not a mom either, so good. So as soon as you leave, the world changes, and now you have to lead. You go from being a student to a leader and stepping out on that. So that's the first thing, a heart for the people, being transparent, and then showing them. Even when it comes to being a mother, I started my first business. It was called Journey Girl here in Douglasville, and I worked with mothers and daughters, helping them have better relationships with themselves and each other. And one thing I would always tell a mom is, although she's the daughter is 16 and she doesn't want to tell you much, you have to put yourself back in that 16-year-old position and realize you didn't want to listen to your mother either. So for a mother to be transparent with her daughter, that's where leadership comes in, because then she feels, safe to come and talk to you about things. So leadership, once again, in a parenting role or outside of a parenting role. But if you're not a mother, you're a cousin, you're a granddaughter, a grandson, you're a son, you're a daughter, we all belong somewhere. And so that's just a quality to keep in mind. And then the vision. Vision is more like insight. Remember in my story when I said I had a decision to make and I decided to look within. That's where that second key quality of a successful leader came. You have to deal with some things in you. If you have a bad attitude, if you don't like to work after a certain hour, if you can't make it to class at 9 a.m., don't sign up for a 9 a.m. class, little stuff like that. But you have to look within and know who you are within, and then that shows up. You know not only where you see yourself going, but how you get there. I started off asking guys, what are you saying you're going to, and how are you going to get there? I told you I started at university earlier this year. That was a $25,000 education. I found myself after graduation like, okay, now what degree? Where do I go? How do I use it as a business or with someone? You have to know how to get after this is done. Here's some clothes. We want after over. You have to kind of have a plan. Actually, a leader is the ability to where I'm going, you know you're gonna get there. Even though I have kids, I'm sure outside that can keep you, of course, that keep you from time, that keep you in the next step. You have to stay focused where you want to be, because a lot of people are looking up to you. So although you're not in you say, you know, you said you wanted to go to school, you said you wanted to be a certain thing. Now we're gonna watch the vision despite how you feel some days and not wanting to show up some days and do it anyway. And then their bonus, you have to build a team of people. Build a team of people who can support you and encourage you. Terry's very, very passionate about you guys. I just see the love of being here and helping you get to the next level because she's passionate. People that resemble those qualities, find a mentor, someone you can look up to, someone you can reach out to just give you a few words of encouragement, someone who won't let you fail, or they won't let you be lazy or give up or stop going. Somebody motivated you. I see a voter sticker today. Somebody pushed you to get you out of the bed, get you out of the house to get in the vote this morning. People who support where you're going and tell you that you can do it. So just be encouraged and be inspired with that. And I just want to wrap up with seeing who can remember what these 4 qualities of a successful leadership role is. Yes, sir.
Have a heart of a leader, fix yourself, and the ability to stay focused.
I like that. He was taking notes. I think he should get a prize. I love that. Very good. So you're a great note taker. I love that. That's what you wanted to say? He's like, ditto. I had that too. I love it. Anybody else want to add anything?
Motivate.
To motivate. Yes. So motivating and staying focused. Anyone have any questions about just what I've shared so far?
How do you go about building your team of people and networking? How does that look in your world?
So my team is always different. Like now we're doing Facebook Live. I'm sure I have some clients on there this morning. Good morning. I hope you're doing your homework. So I'm always networking. I'm always taking time to go out and meet new people, new faces. I didn't know what your age range as students would be. I've taught adults. I've spoken to students right out of high school. So it just depends on who you need to know. And you never know. I have students come up to me to say, hey, my mom wants to start a business. Can you help coach her through that? Can you show her how to make money? So always looking for new opportunities to show your face in new places. That's kind of what my network looks like. And then as far as building teams, I'm very strategic. You have to match my mission. You have to see the vision for where I'm going, which is to encourage, empower, and educate entrepreneurs. And then you have to show me how you take the lead. So for example, I have an internship program called VIP, which is Volunteer Internship Program. It's a partnership that I started with West Georgia University here in West Georgia, and then at the Art Institute of Atlanta and a few other schools around Metro Atlanta where students work for me virtually. So for example, Lauren, she's one of our interns that's been with us for about 2 years now. She was wanting to start her own business. She is now a dancer for one of the people on Beyonce's team. I don't know much about the dance world, but hi, Lauren. So Lauren was awesome. We recruited her from West Georgia. She came in, caught the vision of what I was doing to educate women, and although she can't be here physically, she was working behind the scenes virtually to get things done on our behalf. So she would come in and go above and beyond what I needed her to do. If I told her to look up something, she would look it up, get name, contact, email address, call them, mail them, and I'm like, wow. And I only had to ask her one time. That's the type of person I want on my team from this point on. So when you know what you stand for and you can share that vision, people like Lauren show up in your life to support that vision as well. So I hope I answered that good. We had another question here in the back from our cartoonist.
Oh, I'm sorry, I lost track. How did you know what you wanted to do? Because I really don't know what I want to do as a career. I just know I want to be financially independent, I guess.
I like that. That's a great goal. Well, I've known since 6 years old. So one thing I didn't say was how I got in trouble in school for talking too much. My mom literally kept every report card where it said talks too much. I can show you that now going through her things. But now I get paid to speak. So I'm like, thanks, Mom, and thanks, Miss Fogg, because Miss Fogg will write it on my report card. But I knew at 6 years old, from talking too much and getting on punishment, and I couldn't leave my room, my mom kept me busy with books. And so I remember reading this book. It was a children's Bible story book about Noah and the ark. And when I seen that Noah saved all these people and all these animals and God called him, I was like, at 6 years old, what if God called me to be a female Noah? I literally thought that at 6. And now when I look at my life and see every woman that I'm saving and throwing out a rap for, I get to be Noah. I get to save 2 by 2 business women at a time, throwing out the life rap. That's how I look at it. And also I hear a lot in the coaching industry, when you want to know your purpose, go back to your childhood and see what you did as a child. I remember having, when I could come outside, I could make it to the front porch. She's like, don't go any further because you're still in trouble for talking too much in school and a bad report card. So I would take my dolls and sit them on the front porch, and I would teach them. And then when my dolls, I got tired of playing with them, I would go knock on my neighbor's door, bring the neighbors and kids to sit on the front porch with me, and I would teach them. And I would take names and give demerits, and if you would get expelled. Like, I did everything a teacher would do. So looking back on my life, I've always been a teacher, I've always been a leader, and that's what showed up in my profession. So just think about what that childhood dream was that you've always known you want to do, and it'll kind of give you some insight on where you might be headed. Does that help? Awesome.
Yes.
Any other questions? No other questions? All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for the opportunity to be here today to serve you and share a little bit about my story. I'm available for questions afterwards if you were a little shy and didn't want to talk. I'll be happy to share my business card with you. If you're interested in an internship opportunity, see me as well. I can email you a copy of the form. Like I said, I do a lot of speaking and traveling, so some intern events are online and virtual, and some are here in Atlanta where we would literally travel to different events and speak to women about growing their business to the next level. So again, I'm Andrika J. Austin. You can find me on all social media channels by using the acronym UPLIFT. Y'all ready? It's UPLIFT. The U stands for YouTube, and I know you spell YouTube with a Y. The P is for Periscope. The L is for LinkedIn. The I is for Instagram. The F is for Facebook. And the T is for Twitter. I uplift everywhere I go. I share my story of motivation. And I'm at Socialprenista on all of those channels. I'll be happy to connect with you guys, and you can find out more about my business at thebossof.me. Thank you so much.
How do you use LinkedIn? Real quick.
Oh, is that another class?
That's another question. How do you use LinkedIn? Because I just don't know how to effectively use it.
So LinkedIn, and we can talk about you more because I know you got the nonprofit aspect, you got the churches aspect, and then you want to do the coaching and the authoring. So depending on how you are looking to grow your business or your personal brand, LinkedIn would be great for you guys looking for those business and professional connections. Just like Facebook, just like Twitter, get on, set up a profile, pick a theme and stick with it. If you want to be known for business, stick with business. Find other business leaders, connect with them, send them invitations to connect, ask them how you could help, and then ask them questions about their business and what they're doing, if they're hiring or looking for people who do what you do in your industry. But every industry represented here, I bet, can be found on LinkedIn, and you guys can make a connection. And the beauty of it is, most of the time, they're right down the street from you in your own backyard. You just happen to meet them online. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, yay! I need to get on Facebook Live. I have not done that yet.
Let's see who's on here with us. Okay.
I'm being nosy.
So they're saying good job, proud of you, you're doing a great job. I don't know, that's a new feature. 10 people reacted and other people are watching.
That's awesome.
Yay. Oh, and they're taking notes. So y'all had some competition. They were taking notes. Thank you, Plezzy.
Very good. Thank you. Y'all, thank you.